We're officially out of adjectives for Paul Skenes, and now we're running out of history books to compare him to.
You are Locked On Pirates, your daily Pittsburgh Pirates podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Locked On Pirates. I'm Gary Morgan, longtime Pirates watcher, former Sports Illustrated contributor, and someone who just became a grandpa yesterday. So super stoked about that. And some of you know about it, and just, man, life-changing stuff there. So can't wait to get back to talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates because Paul Skenes is doing some life-changing stuff too. Segment 3, we're going to talk about Brandan Bidiow. He's here. Paul didn't feel like giving him a chance to show what he could do last night, but he's here. So let's spend some time talking about who he is and what you should expect. The offense, it's not just better. It's one of the most dramatic turnarounds you'll find across baseball. And then in segment 1, Paul Skenes continues to defy explanation. Let's start there. This is just entering, if not already, historic territory. We said last week we're running out of ways to describe this. Guess what? We really still are. Paul Skenes last night, 8 dominant innings, 10 strikeouts, started the game striking out the first 6 Rockies hitters, took a no-hitter into the 7th inning again. That's now 3 times in his last 4 starts that he has carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning. I just want to say that again. 3 out of his last 4 starts, he has carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning. It just feels like he's going to go at it every game until he gets one. Like, he's so good, you get the impression that he really is capable of going after something like that. Like, we're not just talking about an ace potential or a top of the rotation guy. We're talking about a pitcher who is starting to align statistically and visually with the absolute best, biggest names this game has ever seen. His career ERA right now, 1.97. I mean, that's not good. That's great. That is historically elite territory. What stands out the most, it doesn't even look difficult. Like, he's not laboring. He's not escaping jams and tiptoeing through base hits. He's not throwing 120 pitches. He looks like he's playing catch while he's striking out 10. The one blemish in this game really didn't come from him. Gregory Soto gave up a run in the 9th inning. Final score 3-1. Pirates win. Yay. At this point, the conversation changes. Like, it's no longer like, can he sustain this? It's how long until we start putting his name next to the all-time seasons we've seen? I mean, you may never see a modern pitcher catch up in the win column. I mean, that's just not the way this game is structured anymore, but he's going to climb that board too if he keeps pitching like this. I mean, talk about taking fate into your own hands. This guy is just he's going to throw what, 7/8 of the game, you know, for the most part, or 7/9 of the game. He's just not leaving much doubt as to how he's going to go about his business. He wants those W's. He wants that ERA fixed. His whip right now is some kind of ridiculous 0.64. I don't know what else to say. I'm to the point now, like, if you told me, hey, there's this super hitter, and man, he just, I swear he can hit everything you throw, Paul. Everything you throw. He's trained on a system that looks like you. It's this wonderful AI facsimile of you, and He's trained up, Paul. He's gonna hit you. I feel like if you gave Paul a half an hour and a little bit of time to think, well, I have a feeling you might be turning around and experiencing him throwing something you've never seen, because it just feels like he can. Part of me almost expects to see him uncork a knuckleball just for fun. I feel like he's thrown just about everything else. I know this is the Rockies too, and if you haven't really been paying much attention, it's easy to just say this is the Rockies, but this is a team that we just lost 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants, who have just about an identical situation to the Rockies. This isn't the Rockies team of last year, although they still can't pitch, but they can hit. They've got some pretty nice hitters, and they've got some guys that can tag you if you're not careful, as Gregory Soto himself found in the 9th inning. But Paul, man, just no match. No match. Nobody came close to touching him, and that's the most frightening thing. At one point we were in the 5th inning was over. I think he had 59 pitches and he had 8 strikeouts, including those first 6 of the entire game. I don't know how you get to that point of a game with that kind of pitch count and that many strikeouts. That's dominance. That's just all there is to it. It's dominance. There's not even a mess around pitch there a lot of the time to keep a pitch count there. How did he do that? How is he doing this? Because I have to imagine this is what it was like for some people when they talk about like the best to ever do it. Like, how no matter what you would talk about as a Pirates fan, it doesn't matter. You would talk about something, and every single time somebody that watched this team in the 70s or the 60s or whatever, they would slap you in the nose like a bad puppy, and they'd say, "No, what are you talking about? Whack! Bonds? No. You don't know great. You didn't see Clemente. No. You don't know great. You didn't see Stargell. We got one now." Because no matter what pitcher you talk about from the Pittsburgh Pirates, I can turn around and say, yeah, but Paul Skenes is better. And I'm to the point where, again, just to throw context into it, I just had a grandkid. I feel it imperative that I make sure that my grandkid can at least see Paul Skenes pitch, because there's a good chance he's the best pitcher he'll ever see. Think about how long it's been since somebody could do some of the things he's done. And we've seen amazing pitchers. Greg Maddux, Martinez. We have seen amazing pitchers over the years. What he's doing, man, if you have to take your Pirates goggles off for a second, to really allow yourself to understand the historical context of what Paul Skenes is doing, this isn't just winning a couple games for your crippled team. This is a guy that is, he's a Mario Lemieux shot. He's a Sidney Crosby shot. We toss around that generational stuff a lot. It's too early to be doing so with Konnor Griffin. He's got the profile, but I'm telling you, Paul Skenes is doing it right in front of your very eyes. He is the generational talent you want him to be. And damn it, this team better find a way to at least make a real run at keeping him. I just don't think you can afford to let a player like that goes. I just don't think you can. Even if he ends up being 50% of your payroll, I don't know how you wind up letting a guy like that go, if at all possible to keep him. And it might not be. It might not be. I got to say that. But how long for real until we start putting his name next to the all-time greats? The comps, as crazy as they sound, they're starting to fit. When we come back, more history. Because this offense for the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's off to a historic start too. If you've ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? You're definitely not alone. Keeping track of subscriptions and spending and bills can get overwhelming fast. That's where Rocket Money comes in, helping you take control of your finances all in one place. Rocket Money helps you keep track of your finances by just putting everything in one place. Think about how many different streaming apps you need just to follow your favorite professional team. It's ridiculous, right? Well, Rocket Money can kind of put all that together in one place for you. You can set your budgets and get alerts and stay on top of all those upcoming bills and stop being surprised by them. It just makes everything feel more organized and gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/locked-on. That's rocketmoney.com/locked-on. Hey everybody, welcome back to Locked On Pirates. If you haven't already done so, make sure you check out the Everydayer Club. $5 a month, $50 a year. You get ad-free episodes. You get access to the Discord. And, one of the biggest benefits of the Discord, just today, actually, guest from yesterday's show, Eric, was nice enough to try to answer some questions that some of the listeners had in the Discord about the conversation we had about pitching. And he took the time to actually answer them for the listeners in Discord. So, for real, the benefits just keep piling up. Check it out. There's a link down in the show notes for the Supercast. Before we get into this offense, we got to rewind to 2025 for context, because what you're watching right now, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen to have a turnaround this quick. Last year, 3.6 runs per game, bottom of MLB. 117 home runs, dead last. 655 OPS, bottom 3. Lineup wide batting averages that dipped into historically bad territory. 2026, okay, it's mid-May. You can't project it out as much as you'd really like to, but we're going to try. 5.02 runs per game, top 10. 42 home runs right now, 160 plus pace. Have no idea where that would put them, but it's probably in the top third. 744 OPS, that's fourth in MLB right now. Obviously, that's a living number too, so you can't really project that one out. And a 253 batting average is top 5 range right now. That's not just improvement. It's a complete identity change. The Brandon Lowe effect to me has been huge. It's been a franchise-altering move. Back-to-back 5 RBI games for him he's had this year. First Pirate since Honus Wagner in 1901 to do that. 6 home runs in his first couple weeks. Obviously he's added on, but he came right out the gate like this. 648 slugging percentage out the gate. I mean, it was dominance quickly. And then, he faded back a little bit, started just drawing walks, but he's still been a productive member of the top of that order all year long, and he's kept the boat moving. They didn't just add a hitter here. I think they added a lineup anchor that forces everything else to slot correctly. The Griffin era is here. We talked about Konnor Griffin in our last episode before the Eric Minshall episode on Monday. It hasn't slowed down. He's slashing over 400 now, in OPS. Like, easily. Slugging. High velocity extra base hits. Immediate lineup lengthening. This guy's hitting 8th, 7th, 6th. I just can't say Pirates teams of the past would have had him down there at this point. Real power finally. After finishing dead last in home runs, they went out and fixed it. Ryan O'Hearn, Brandon Lowe. I know it hasn't panned out yet, but Marcelo Ozuna. They're outslugging teams that are supposed to dominate in power categories. This is no longer a one-dimensional lineup scraping for singles. Sure, they can beat you that way, but they're winning games differently. It's not a team that's sweating one-run victories all the time anymore. The run differential tells you that story. They're scoring 1.5 more runs per game. Those tight losses, they're turning into multi-run wins. It's not even a finished product yet. This is what makes the argument to me undeniable. The offense is dramatically better, and it's still incomplete. Like Password Garcia came off the IL and hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats the other day. Esmeralda Valdez has shown real power in AAA. Andy Rodriguez is now up here, getting an opportunity because of the Joey Bart foot infection, which who knows how that all came to be. They're still underperformers. There's still open opportunities. There's still prospects pushing. So while this already looks like a top-tier offense, there is still room to grow. That, to me, is what makes this a legitimate, sustainable turnaround, not just a hot streak. That's what proves to me that this isn't just a few guys doing well. And it's been different sources that the offense has really come from as the season's gone on. They've had a few constant drum beats, which you got to have if you're going to be a good team. And one of those constant drum beats has been Nick Gonzalez. Just that constant attack of those singles, that constant attack of those 2-out RBIs. He just has such a knack for that, for ramming in that runner in scoring position. He just really has a knack for it. No matter what the defense gives him, he seems to be capable of going out and getting it. I think Ryan O'Hearn's been super consistent all season long, swinging a good stick. Spencer Horwitz. To be fair, O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, he struck out a lot, but he's also been very consistently providing something. And I just think there's been a lot more of that. Brian Reynolds, a lot more consistent. Has anybody just blown up and popped off the page? Well, Brandon Lowe for power. I think he's got a real shot of going to the All-Star game as a second baseman. Think about his real competition, Nico Hoerner, who's been great for the Cubs, but those two are going to be in it, and Lowe is not going to be in a competition for home runs with Nico Hoerner. Not by the time this season's over. That's the caliber of player that this team brought in. That's an all-star second baseman. Most likely. And one of the things that could potentially keep him off the team is that this team might send 3 starting pitchers, and it might send... think about what they could really send to the All-Star game if we keep playing like this. This offense is different, guys. We have complaints. We should. We will. We will have complaints. And they will be things that we think are completely great right now. We'll complain about them in a couple weeks. That's the way baseball is. You will always find something. There will always be somebody that is not doing enough. There will always be somebody that's not carrying their weight. That's just the way it is. It's always going to feel that way. But really, sit back and watch what this team's doing. Former number 1 pick Nick Gonzalez is starting every day at a position and hitting, leading the league in average, or at least up there. Konnor Griffin, number 1 pick, starting every day at shortstop. Number 1 pick, Paul Skenes, starting out, second round pick, Jared Jones about to come back. Bubba Chandler, second round pick. Carmen Majinski, technically first round pick, Comp B, starting in the rotation. Mitch Keller, third round pick, long time work to get where he's gotten. Brian Reynolds, technically a first round pick for the San Francisco Giants here. This team, Henry Davis, first round pick starting, no matter what you think. This team's loaded with talent, young talent. Some talent that's taken a little bit longer than you'd like to get here. But guys, quit denying the offense. It's here. It's better. A lot better. Not a joke. You should really be able to enjoy this aspect of it. I don't even think they've come close to performing as well as they can. There's more there. I really think there's another gear or two. They've put together a good team here. Bullpen's let us down a little bit, and I think we're going to talk about that soon, but let's talk about one way that potentially the Pirates are starting to correct that. Another youngster coming up, young Australian Brandan Bidiow. Baseball season is here, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. That's right. On Kalshi, you can trade every single game. Right now, for example, the Pirates are trading at 68% to beat the Rockies, meaning a $100 trade pays out $136.20 if they win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 only over. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Hey everybody, welcome back to Locked On Pirates. Let's talk about Brandan Bidiow because he's here. And what a weird beginning to this season. I mean, he was incredible last year. Spring didn't quite go how he wanted. Started rough in AAA, but really started to find it recently. If you don't know the name yet, you will. First, it's pronounced Bidois, as best I can tell. I've heard him say it. I've heard others say it. I've seen it phonetically spelled. I think we're on to something here. Bidois. Start with the basics. Born in Brisbane, Australia, signed in 2019 as a position player, converted to pitching, lost time to COVID and Tommy John surgery. He returned in late 2023. So this is just not a typical development path, right? In 2025, I don't know if it was out of nowhere. I'm sure there were some people in the system that knew. And talking to Anthony Murphy, the guy that we've had on a couple times from Bucks on Deck, the Substack, they cover the Bucko prospects really well. I was talking to him. I was like, did you see him coming at all? He was like, yeah, we liked some of what we saw, but nobody expected what happened. And here's what happened. 8-0 record. A .74 ERA, 69 strikeouts in 61 innings, and a .80 whip. He climbed 4 levels in one season. He won the Pirates Minor League Reliever of the Year. And from July 29th to September 9th, he went 18 consecutive hitless innings, 64 consecutive batters without allowing a hit. That's not just good. That's modern era ridiculous. that's kind of stacking together a couple Paul Skenes starts that he's had recently, isn't it? His arsenal, a fastball, 97-ish. I've seen him hit a little higher. I've seen him rest a little lower, depending on how he feels that night. Slider, really nice offering. Those two are probably the best that he has, and I think that's what I would focus with if I'm him. He's got something new he's calling a kick change. I have not been impressed by the offering yet. That said, who am I, right? I personally think the fastball and slider are more than enough for him to get most of what he needs to get done. And I would think you'll see him kind of rest back on that pretty quickly if he has any problems with this kick change. If he's going to give up home runs, that's going to be how, because the fastball and slider play off each other so well. He's got a crazy arm angle. He comes from way up top, over top. You don't see that anymore. It really confuses hitters. It's not something they're used to seeing. Mix gives him swing and miss stuff. He's got really good deception, like I just mentioned, with that delivery, and late movement. You're just coming from a different place too, so the movement does something different than most pitches offer, and it comes from a different place. So that sort of stuff can really kind of get in your face and mess some things up. 2026 AAA so far, not great. 3-2 record, 7.20 ERA. He is getting better now. I think he's pretty much back on track. Certainly not a finished product, I would say, but high upside reliever. And I would think like you'll probably see them start him in lower leverage and let him work his way up. But this is a short burst guy. You're not going to try to get 3 innings out of this guy very often. He becomes the 37th Australian Major League Baseball player, the first Australian in Pirates history. You'll remember years ago they signed another Australian, Solomon Maguire, and I don't believe he ever made it beyond low A. Just never happened for him. But they signed him as a real youngster too. I think he was 16. But this is the bullpen piece that could develop into something meaningful. It really could. It's the exact type of arm that the Pirates have started to lean into. Unique development path, misses bats, still evolving. And right now, yeah, he's going to have to go into the bit of the unknown category. But there's enough here to believe that you might be watching the early stages of something very real. Brandan Bidiow, welcome to Pittsburgh, my friend. I can't wait to watch you do some good stuff up here. Boy, does this bullpen need another option like that in the back end. And another guy that just brings the ball from a different perspective. Paul Skenes making history every 5 days. The offense has flipped from worst to one of the most dangerous in baseball. And now you're adding new, intriguing pieces like Brandan Bidiow into the mix. This team, it's changing and fast. Tomorrow, we're going to keep digging into more of what they do. Hopefully, talk about another win with Mitch Keller on the mound against the Rockies and see if we can't find something more fun to talk about. Maybe the bullpen will do something else neat. Maybe Endy Rodriguez will get into a game. Who knows? We're serious about Pirates baseball because somebody has to be. Let's go Bucks.